What's going on, everybody? I can't help but start with a smile. Manic Monday. What's going on? OPMG, Brian E, Timmy York, Rich Clark. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, made some money, enjoyed some sports, maybe even unplugged for a second or two. What's going on? Welcome back to the fastest show in MLB absolutely anywhere with the big man. Follow me at John Laghezza on Twitter, X. Dropping lots of good stuff. Man, although my play of the weekend did not turn out. I don't know, those Cowboys guys just beaten into oblivion. Another story for another day. Playoffs are rocking and rolling. Jay, have you ever seen anybody with a worst record right now going into the playoffs? I think I've gotten every single thing wrong. Not even like necessarily chasing chalk favorites. I missed everything, right? I kind of shortchanged the Rangers and they're mashing, right? Shortchanged the Diamondbacks, they're mashing right now. And that's what's so ridiculous about betting on playoff baseball. To the new listeners, welcome aboard. Hopefully, I'll spend the rest of the show instilling more confidence than I just took out of it. But a lot of times that's what this is about, right? We're about transparency and honesty, doing the best analysis that we can, and then having that lead us to plays if they're plus EV. Yeah, I get this is like wagertainment, I guess. I mean, it's free, and hopefully I'm entertaining in your betting, so I guess we check a few of the necessary boxes. But make no mistake, I'm doing this stuff at a high level. My money is on it. And that's why you see me sometimes like, I'd rather not. I don't want to spend my money on it if I don't believe in it. A lot of these people out there are fakes. They'll tell you to go bet anything. Like they could care less. And then the one ticket you see is some $5 parlay, and you're like, you just showed your ass to all of us. So, rate, review, and subscribe. Thank you for rocking with us. Grab the spear and your shield. Join the Phalanx. We only have 2 games today. We'll be in and out. Little wham bam. Thank you, ma'am, from the two of us. Just keep everybody a little sharp. I did a little bit of the diving stuff. But, betting on the playoffs these shows probably would be more helpful as theoreticals. Because that's where this is the most interesting for me. Again, I will bet on the playoffs. I don't want to say I bet the playoffs. Like, can you imagine? Like, I hope you bet the regular season if you're betting on the playoffs. Because these are the same prices we can get on any game that I feel like we have an edge on with the big sample to allow the probabilistic edge to pan out. So, look, there's some of that confidence I was talking about. First feather in the cap. But that's the truth. I do this. I actually bet American money on this. Speaking of which, Jay got my international stamps. Everyone, congratulations to our producer and dear friend. Jay took down the MLB second half Survivor League. Congratulations to you, Jay. Super sharp. I, of course, went out in the first week betting on the Dodgers. I think it was the only losing week they had. Oh gosh almighty. I swear. It's so funny doing this kind of wagering work and analysis out in the public. That it's like, in theory, you could be following small pieces of my work and just think we're the biggest loser donkeys in the world. And then you could be following certain points and go, man, I do nothing but make money following this guy. Super sharp. And that's kind of one of the other lessons that, hopefully, regardless of what you're listening to, you're picking up something along the way. We call them the feather in the cap, just a tool in the tool belt there. Leave you a little bit sharper honing those skills. So, where I was going in the roundabout ways, all right, what do we got? We have this giant regular season sample. Now it boils down to these 1 or 2 games. Everybody under the microscope. I don't know. The favorites came out cold. And then, of course, there's people, oh, that's what you get. The days off, that's what you get. Those other teams are hot. You think the Phillies wanted to come to Atlanta with Power Ranger Suarez on the bump? You know, instead of one of the aces? No. But no, he was good enough. The Phillies just went bullpen, bullpen, bullpen. Let's get right into this one. It's the Fighting Phils plus 135 underdogs on the road against the Bravos heading down to the Dirty. Minus 155 favorites, Max fried eggs on the bump. The Braves, right off the bat. Wheeler plus 135. We like that just immediately. Obviously. Looking for wins is tough. Looking for bullpen wins is tough. Jay, what's the run line, F5 run line on Philly look like? That's something I might be able to dig into. If we can get the run, let's call it minus, right? We've called it minus 130 or better. Oh, right on the nose right there. I think that will be our first play. I'm even seeing some minus 120s. That's a nice price. Listen, Wheeler for 15 outs against anybody getting a run, that's the kind of stuff that I mean, where, yeah, I'll bet on the playoffs. I don't look to bet on these games. And I'm never looking to pay juice, though 20 cents to get a run in baseball for 5 innings feels like a deal. It feels like a deal. Start your deal. All right, Zach Wheeler. In the playoffs, first game out, 6 2/3, gave up 1, 5 hits, no walks, 8 Ks. He was super sharp. 32 starts in the season, 21 quality starts. Those are 6 innings, minimum 3 earned run maximum, which again is not great. And I've been really following my work for a long time. One of the things that got me into this thing of ours was challenging the win. The win is garbage also, but challenging the quality start also. Because if you go 6 innings and give up 3 runs, now granted, I would argue I understand you've given your team a chance to win. I think that feels fair. It does, right? 6 through 3, to get into the 7th inning with only 3 on the board, there's a realistic chance to get back in the game even if you haven't scored. That said, I ran both metrics, right? So we obviously know 6 innings, 3 earned runs is a 4.5 ERA, which is kind of mediocre, right? Both by like eye test math, historically, and the average. The thing is also, believe it or not, the 6th inning is even still like a, 55th percentile distant outcome. Maybe it was getting closer to 50. I was trying to cut out the openers because they don't have the intention of it. Some would say, well, then that's the start. That's not 6 innings. Regardless, let's call it half. Point being, a quality start every single time out is really kind of a mediocre outcome. The reason it can be viable and work, part of a winning strategy, if the sample is large enough. Again, there's sometimes a 3 on the board is not going to be good enough because you only scored 1. And sometimes a 3 on the board is going to be good a bunch of times because you scored 1. Again, why wins are stupid, because the pitchers don't control them. So I wanted to go into the money start, and this is what I think matters, and this is the stuff I look for in the playoffs. Took you on a little walk there. Is the money starts, right? That's the thing I developed. 7 innings minimum, 2 earned runs is maximum. Now we're talking. Right? Through 7 and 2. That's a good one. Especially in high leverage games, you're talking about getting the ball to the best part of the bullpens. And again, historically, like realistically, we know it's a good outcome. 10 strikeouts, 5 games of 32. So Wheeler really has the top side, can go distance, and we've seen that. Max 311 WOBA across the board, lefty, righty, home, and away, which is pretty good. Right, you figure like 315, 320 is average, so better than average across the board in every split, especially good on the road, 262 WOBA. He has 8 road wins this year with that fastball. This is what happened to me. This is mind-boarding. Right, thinking like I was just going to do my regular kind of granular notes. Check it out. Wheeler's fastball, 96, which is good. 43% use, which is very high, to a 334 X slug, 31 whiff. Right now, if you're unfamiliar, just quickly, that's our triple slash. We use usage, X slug, and whiff rate, deployment, contact quality, swing and miss. Simply put. In case you're wondering, anything over 25 is like a 25% usage or a primary pitch. 43% use on a fastball is a hyper usage. X slug, let's call 400 the benchmark. Even average, anything that starts with a 3 is excellent. Once you're getting up above that, like 460, you're getting hit hard. Expected slug, right near that 500. When we use the 345 on the hitter side. And then whiff rate. On a fastball, it's a bit lower than other pitchers. The slider is going to be better. But even still, anything over 23 is good. Anything over 25 is excellent. Over 30 is nuts. So to have a fastball, this is the deep dive I was getting at. To have a fastball that you can use 43% of the time and still induce a 31% whiff rate is really quite phenomenal. You're not going to see that most anywhere. 14 inches of vertical ride, which is good but not great. Again, like 13 is average. Anything flat or right, we want flat. We're throwing it up in the zone. 7 inches of horizontal run. Again, double digits are great. 7 is good but not amazing. And that was the rabbit hole. You got to get into the other stuff. I'm going to make sure I do this when I break down all my fantasy work. This was a blind spot I had last year. Maybe it would have helped me pick up on some of the better fastballs in the game. You then have to go into at least 2 other points that really matter: extension and release point. I was reading some of the nerdier stuff about how low release points can matter in regard to contact quality allowed by pitchers. Lance Brosdowski, Alex Chamberlain have been covering this stuff. Make sure you're following them if you're into this geeky stuff. I try and break it down to a point you understand just enough of it to use it where we need to. Wheeler has a big time extension, right? That makes sense. The further away the ball is getting released, the faster it will seem in relation to regular pitches because of the shortened distance. So big time extension, super low vertical release for Wheeler to explain the big time fastball, part of why he's so effective. And then you get control and he's able to work it up and down. But to pull the curtain on Wheeler, why he's so successful throwing fastballs all the time. Hopefully, again, you learned something. Rate, review, and subscribe. Shit matters more than it should. Press the cartoon fingers, cartoon bells. Thank you for joining Heroes. At 300, man, Call to the Pen, where we are doing it every single day. Jay, we're getting close to 130 some odd shows in a row. Every single day, 115 off the crack. Can't fake this kind of funk, homie. You really can't. I mean, like, whatever. I really think I'm a legend in my own mind, seriously. But I think we're like superstars in the making. Write that one down. All right, 3 games started versus Atlanta for Wheeler. He went to Atlanta early on, went 8, gave up none, struck out 12, and it was like, oh my gosh, I remember that start. Then home, went 5, gave up 6, struck out 4, not great. At Atlanta, went 6, gave up 1, struck out 5, kind of, oh, that porridge is right in the middle. So we know the top side is there. We also know Atlanta can get him. And we also know we can kind of get like a neutral outcome. So how much did I help you? I don't know. But sometimes I just like to lay out as much as I can and have you, the sharp listener, kind of make your own decisions. You may have your own lean. And we joke that this is the restaurant where the chefs eat, but quite literally, like professional handicappers and bookmakers and shit come here to figure out, like, you know, maybe some of the stuff that they're missing, or at least just double check against my work. Because, hold on. Jay, hopefully we're still doing this next year. Mental note to myself: don't be a lazy bones. And like I should have run the model. And I like said, oh, you know, I gave the whole like subjective thing. Oh, resting that. I really should have. I really should have just run it and see, right? Just to have another opinion in the room. Again, I'm kind of, you know, not doing well. I feel not saying like betting blind, but maybe I feel like a regular person right now. Okay, Atlanta offense going to be up against Zach Wheeler, right? He's facing somebody. Game 1, they had 5 hits, no runs. Again, Suarez was decent. We mentioned the Philadelphia bullpen and how they were going to segment games into those 1-inning sections, right? That's that New York, late 90s New York Yankee theorem, you know, of, it's funny too, the guy, pitcher doesn't even have to be that great. You want them to be doing different stuff. That's the whole thing. So no one is getting, you're just not getting used to it. And hitters are not able to communicate with each other. Next inning, reset. So Philly did that with some efficacy. But like, do we throw away the Atlanta offensive stats? Like, am I supposed to tell you they're not, excuse me, like ridiculously good? Second half of the season, top 3 in doubles, top 2 in runs, homers, average, OBP, and OPS. Pretty good. Plus a sub 20 K rate as a team. I mean, you got to think about that. 282 average, sub 20 K rate with 11.5 barrel. I mean, these numbers are just crazy. They kill lefties, they kill righties. But here you go. You played for 6 months. You got 3 games to show. You got 4 or 5 games to show us what you got. First one off the bench, you didn't show us much. And this is where, like, that's what I was getting to at the open with all the uncertainty. And I don't mean to put on, uncertainty or like milk toast, like non-committal takes out there. That's never been my style. But what are you gonna get? I don't know. The Braves are gonna pick themselves off the mat. I don't know. Are they good? Yes. Like in a vacuum, do the Braves imply 5 runs getting off the bus? The answer is absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. And almost even facing Wheeler. All right, maybe not 5, maybe 4. Jay, do me a favor, entertain me. Can you bring up the team total for the Braves a full game? It's not 3.5, right? Is it 3.5? Maybe it's 4? They're the Braves? I don't know. Yeah, 4. Pinnacle even has a 4.5. They're expecting a move up. I mean, against Wheeler, I wouldn't go to 5. But just again, to give you an idea, no matter how bad they look, it's a confusing time for us all. So I tend to think we're going to get something like the start in the middle if I had to put a brand on it. Wheeler's going to be good. He's going to be sharp. Let's say the Braves get to him for 2 through 6 in the third. 2 through 6 and 2/3. What's the out prop look like, Jay? Is the books think Wheeler's going to finish 6? Because that's kind of his stilo. He's hard to drive out of the game. Even if you give up the 2 or the 3, Gallon did that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Oh, I think I like this the best. Jay, using BetStamp, we'll do the read between, my friend. Showing us all the prices from different books. There was certainly plus money out there for 15.5. I mean, I tend to think I like Wheeler to come out and get out in this. Get out in the 6th, man. We went through the distance. I'm kind of getting it back up again. I mean, 32 starts. Only 6 times did he not go over this. So, Jay, let's take that. Again, God bless America and Canada. That's the play you want, right? Why, even the minus 155 for Wheeler, you got to get past Fried. You got to score. There's so many different elements. Want to try and just isolate it. The Braves offense is good. They're struggling a little bit. Wheeler is a GOAT. And even if he gives up an early 3-run home run, I don't think he's getting yanked. He's a bulldog. I feel like he's getting the workload. They believe in him. He's got the playoff pedigree and stuff already. Help them get to the World Series. So I love that. I love that play. I'm feeling really good about that. Let's do the next one. Fried on the bump, closed out strong. He had a sub-2 ERA in September, but he had that blister issue pop up. I saw like a picture of it. It was disgusting. But you can imagine how, I don't know if you've ever, in another lifetime, I was a electrician, and believe it or not, you wouldn't tell from my number of chins that I used to work out all the time. And man, not like the good hard blisters on your hands, like when you get them on your finger from outside twisting, and if you've ever had it crack and break, it's very easy to say from your couch, oh, but hold on, Kevin, I'll recap in a second. Oh man, well, go out there and play with a bad finger. Your thing is throbbing. You can't put any pressure on it. Kevin, wow, that's an awesome name. Hold on, Venezuela. All right, I think I might have nailed that. Says, what's the play? We're going over Zach Wheeler, outs 15.5, outs over at plus money. Sorry about that if I wasn't. No, man, don't think me, I made a mistake, I appreciate you for being part of kind of our immersive thing that we've kind of building here. You know me, I'm shooting off, running off and all that stuff. I'm just trying to teach people stuff. Wait, Venziali. Oh, even better, baby. Love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Kevin, you got a friend in me, man. Welcome aboard. Grab your spear, grab your shield, something at the work, and defend Sparta. Will we give to the books nothing and take from them everything? F you, Tony Pollard. Oh my gosh, he dropped one of those balls too. Oh, I dropped the ball. Oh my God, I'm so upset. Anyway, it's funny that you will. Another lesson quickly about betting is when you go into it and you feel like you should win, you should strength of analysis plus price. It's okay to to want that. Like that drive is so good. We have to be careful sometimes. I always talk about that. We don't want to complain and be crying because that's negative energy. But you do want to care. Right? I think that's part of it. I find sometimes I toe that line of being like too agnostic. Oh, who gives a crap? Listen, we don't want to losing is part of it that needs to be embraced into the regard, like to the extent that we're using it to be positive. taking our losses, learning what lessons we need to be, self-evaluating for procedural mistakes, and then correcting those. And not like, oh, I'm a mush. Like, I hate that. Feed me. I'm a loser. I have bad luck. Like, honestly, that's like the worst stuff. So I do want every so often I like to let people know that. Like, yes, I do care. Like, yes, I do want to win. It's just when you bet or you trade every single day, you get so used to the ebb and flows, you realize that when you're really hot, maybe you're not as good as all those emojis make you look. And when you're really bad, a bounce here, a bounce here, you might have been okay. All right, so let's get back on the horse. So Fried close strong. He's got the blister issue. They say he's okay. I think he threw like a sim game, and they said he was fine. The blister is the kind of thing that can be re-aggravated, but once it closes, you should be all right. Hold on, Kevin Lasser. That's a great question. Do not let me forget that we're going to do that in between games after Jay does the read. Jay, don't let me forget this. That's a beautiful question. That's like what we're here for. Okay. So Fried, 6 different pitches, 90% of the arsenal has a maximum 375 XLOP. He is extremely hard to get a hold of. We know my man is an absolute bulldog also, but he gets shortchanged on the swing and miss ability. The curve and the change both have a 40. It's a 40% use combined to a 38% whiff rate. Think about that. 40% of the arsenal has a 38% whiff rate. Like, that's where you get into real like strikeout stuff category. And I don't think he gets talked about. He had a 26 K rate on the season, sub 6 walk. There's your 20 KBB. That's fine. The swing and strike a little bit low, but the CSW is high. CSW is cold strikes plus whiffs. What that means is he lands the breaking ball for strikes. Nothing wrong with that's good. 27 whiff. There's a lot of stuff that we like, plus the 58% ground ball rate. But I think a lot of times Fried can, not say you pick and choose, but I think his control is so good that he can paint those corners and he'll take that light ground ball contact all day. So you got to like Fried. Max 282. Woba, lefty and righty split. He's been very good against both-handed hitters. And what a rush. He's a road warrior. Only 9 earned runs, giving up 47 innings on the road. Going to face that Philly offense out. Again, we know is very good. They're hitting a little bit too. They kind of have that. Again, I hate narrative street. Maybe it sounds smarter to say it's like playoff experience. But that's where they're hot, right? They got they're listen, when you're feeling it, right? They're feeling it. They're locked in. They're feeling good. They've been here before. As the underdog. They have the big pitching, Wheeler and Nola. They have the big bats. Say what you want about Schwarber striking out. Are you not crapping your pants that he's going to hit a home run every time he gets up? You better be. Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, these kids are freaking awesome. These are, perennial kind of first-round fantasy picks. Not to bring the nerdy fantasy stuff into it, but there's a reason, geeks everywhere have united around these players. They are unbelievable. Then Castellanos, bomb, and Stott, like all the things that you want with a strong bullpen. Philly's really, really good. So I'm a little bit worried about betting against these Phils. Though if I'm not incorrect, they're very good against lefties also. I thought they had struggled against lefties. They ended up correcting that in the second half. Top 5 expected WOBA versus lefties. It's just really good. I'm worried about the distance with the finger a little bit from Fried. Why? Because I'm worried about the Atlanta bullpen. They pitched well. I don't mean to give them too hard of a time. Iglesias threw 11 pitches. Minter threw 12. Pierce Johnson threw 15. Those are their top 3 guys. Kirby Yates hanging out there also. They were good. Get the day off. They're refreshed. But I don't think that paints over, again, the larger sample stuff. Like that, I just can't get past it on the season. Atlanta, one of the worst bullpens, down the stretch in the second half, like objectively. 281 inning sample. It's not nothing. 6 ERA, 1.6 whip, 280 batting average allowed, sub 20K, double-digit walk. Not any good. I don't know how you slice that. The last 30 days, 5.4 ERA. Some of the peripherals improved, but still not great. Nearly 2 home runs per 9. One of the things, the one stat that'll always crush your bullpen. So I cannot back Fried. I think I like the Phillies. Man, so we'll get the Phillies at 5. Then we don't have to mess with the fate of the pendulum swinging and brave momentum or whatever. If Wheeler is good, we'll be good. Hopefully we'll get us at least a tie through 5, and we'll go over the 15.5 out. So a little bit of action Jackson for you. Again, we're using betstamp.app/call to the pen. You hang out with J&J, call to the pen HQ, rate, review, and subscribe. Jay, tell them all about it, baby.
For sure, John, I got you here. The easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is to always have multiple sports books and to always get the best odds on what you're betting on. We find the easiest way to do that is by having a odds comparison tool like BetStamp. BetStamp simply compares odds across every sports book, including games, player props, and futures. Save time, save money. Download the app today or check out the Google Play Store. You can just search BetStamp and you will find it in your app store there. And then if you're looking to support the show and you don't have a lot of sports books and you're looking to sign up for more sports books, head over to betstamp.app/call to the pen. If you sign up through that page, it helps support the show. Now back to John here.
Oh, great job, Jay, as always. To Kevin, our newest friend, member of the 300 crew here. He says, what should be my highest bet size with a $100 bankroll? And then most importantly, and why, Kevin, you absolutely belong here, one of us. He says he struggles with bankroll management. And so number one, being that type of open self-assessment is the first thing that will help you improve. The second thing will be coming to people like me who are not maybe necessarily smart, but I've made these mistakes in the past. I also at least have a professional understanding of this stuff. Again, I guess every so often I like to clarify my position because I do get hit a lot. I wouldn't call myself a professional bettor right now. I mean, I bet at a level much higher than the average bear. But I have other jobs in small businesses that cover overhead that allow me to kind of do the thing I love, which is this. I have bet professionally, right? And that's the thing also. We get a lot of this. People that do shows never bet. I was just bashing on it before because there are people that never bet. There's people like me that, I'm sure someone's thought about calling me out. Hopefully I come off as genuine enough that I have the black eyes and the bruises from being in the arena every damn day. The reason I'm able to be in the arena every damn day is because of bankroll management. To your point, Kevin. Oh, man, coming from a trading background, that was the really foundational piece of my sustained, betting process. Because you understand the risk management, let's get into it. All right, let's try and do it quick and concise, Mike. Tough for me, right? Micro machine guy here. I think the first thing you need to do is decide how aggressive you want to be. Okay, and I'm going to make this very simple. Again, these are numbers that are real life numbers that can mimic a real process, but you have the freedom to do it on your own, to expand. But I'm going to make it very easy for people. Okay, think of things 1, 2, 3. Very simply, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1 is your lowest risk. 2 right in the middle. 3 is aggressive. Those are percentages of your total stack. Every so often I tweet this kind of stuff. It makes people furious. Even if I don't get responses, I know it makes them absolutely furious. Because we have the pride, right? That messes with us, the ego. You see it on social media. People are betting hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on stuff, and you have to bet hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, or you want to bet enough money to move the needle. What's the point of making $2? It's not about making $2. The $2 represents a percentage return of an allotted risk, and that's where gamblers generally mess up. That's where 99% of people fail because they don't understand risk management and the road to ruin. Right, so this is the stuff we're talking about. So again, right off the bat, even at the I don't have the chart up at me. I don't want to mislead. Even at 3% maximum, so in your case, with a $100 total bankroll, you should be betting $3 total. Right? People think well, how am I going to make money? Well, I mean, that's when they say it takes money to make money. So normally my first advice to people is, especially in the case of only having $100, and I don't mean to demean anybody, but let's be realistic, right? It's not a mortgage, right? So, especially if you worked hard for it, I think this is really important for the newer, younger bettors. Bet on paper first. Save your $100. While you're saving your $100, try and save another $100. While you're betting and taking it very seriously. I mean, very seriously. Tracking all your bets. Because remember, you don't need live action to prove action. You can test yourself. We used to call this the combine. Put yourself through the combine. Show 30 days of profitability, 60 days of profitability using this strategy. Start with the aggressive one. You don't think it's a lot of money. So you start with 3. I mean, again, you can start with 10. You'll probably find out you're not going to win. And the thing is, though, if you don't win, but you were using play money, demo cash, right? You can say, oh my goodness, John just saved me a buy-in. And now you get to look back and learn. Now that lesson was really worth it. So the first lesson is play with demo cash, put yourself through a combine, learn sustainable betting methodology. Prove that you can profit. Don't listen to anybody else. If you're ready to go live, right? I don't mean to assume that you're not. Please don't be insulted. I'm talking to kind of everybody here. It's $3. I know people hate to hear it. Maybe if I know online books will take minimum now, you can bet whatever, you can bet cents, which is one of the beauties of this kind of fractional betting. You don't need to let anybody budget you. You can do whatever you like. But even $4, and you're putting, doesn't have to be $2 bets. Like then you want to split it. This would be another reason why you want those numbers higher, so you could play more. And the idea would never be to go over 2%. The idea is to make the 2% large enough that you can play multiple things and then hopefully have probability play in your favor over time. Again, once you get into this process of only betting a few percentage points of your total stack, you get the confidence I was talking about not caring if you're going to lose because it doesn't move the needle, which becomes counterintuitive because you're betting to move the needle, but you can't move the needle immediately. The needle is moved slowly over time. When that 2% goes from like myself, I was this min better now. Granted, I had cash for my bet, but I'm the type that I wanted to know that I could do it first, right? So I went from betting mins to then, my first year or second year at FTN, I think I bankrolled, especially when you get to the higher stake stuff, I think you need the bankroll. I don't think you necessarily need to fund the account with it. I think you could do like a fractional reserve type of thing. We're going to get to some central banking if I don't stop to which I'm going through. But once you get into the large stuff, I think you probably just need 10 to 20% on hand. So, I mean, if you're going to play with 100K, 1% is $1,000 a night, which is a nice amount. Well, it is a I forgot where I was going because I threw myself off the scent there. But anyway, I being at that point, you're building up to a point where the small percentage points isn't a lot of money. I think that was it. Okay, let's get into the second game. So, Kevin, appreciate you, OPMG. Love you, man. Enjoy your day. Take care, everybody. Let's do the second game just quick. Again, I don't know. There's not much here. Arizona plus 140 dog on the road against the Trolley Dodgers. Minus 155 favorites. Bobby Miller. Sounds like a 70s pop star on the road. On a bump. Gatlin, he stuck his thumb in my eye. I was off the Diamondbacks, like I think a lot of people were. And I kind of had to eat those losses. Now I don't want to short them anymore. Right? They're like young, they're exciting, and now they have their best pitcher going forward up 1-0 against a rookie. Though this one should be really good. Gallen went 6, gave up 2, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and the win. First playoff game this year. They got to him really early. He settled down. I was talking about that, them getting to him early. That's what we were, fading him for. The road Gallen stuff, I think, might be a little bit exaggerated. I looked into it a little bit today. It's not quite as bad as it looks. Anyway, 34 games started for Gallen in the year, 21 quality starts, 9 money starts, right? Those 7 innings minimum, 2 earned runs maximum, 9 times out of 34. That is excellent, man. That's excellent. He's 2 runs better at home. But like I said, when you're breaking it down, the OPS is still low, the WOBA allowed is still low. So you have 313 WOBA on the road, which again does not necessarily purport like the 4-5 ERA or whatever. That's so I don't know. It's a little bit off. It wasn't BABIP either. Might have just been home runs or bad luck. But again, I'm not sure I'm sold in this like Gallen road thing. The fastball is really good. Big time usage. It does get hit hard without a lot of whiffs. So it's like this is the opposite of the Wheeler fastball. It has the shape and the velo and all that other stuff. The thing with Gallen's fastball is it's purely like a functional fastball. It has like a dual use. So the four-seamer has the same exact observed spin as the change, but then it mirrors the knuckle. So you get this guessing game between four-seamer change, and then the knuckle curve is just, besides the fact that it's like colon collapsing, the spin is super deceptive also. The change-up triple slash, 14 use, 346 X-Slug, 31 whiff. That is awesome. The knuckle curve, one of the best pitches in the game. Zach Allen's curveball, 23 use, 361 X log, 43% whiff rate. Hachimachi Liberace. One thing that I did notice, though, that I think you'll probably see. Kevin asked if I like Freeman to go yard. Man, I was on Freeman total bases game one, didn't work. I'm worried about trying to catch the knife, right? We see these narratives go, oh man, they're not any good, they're sluggish, If it gets in their head right now, I'm feel more into with the momentum, right? I'm with the Phillies. I'm with Wheeler. I think I want to be behind the momentum. I want to be with the bullish chart, not trying to catch that fulling knife again. Talk to the order. ERA really big for Gallen, though. It is 2.21 first time through, 2.86 the second time through, which is phenomenal, right? That number jumps to over 6 third time through. The Arizona bullpen has been like lights out, which again was part of the thesis for fading them. I like Paul Sewald, but beyond that, I don't really think they're that good. I mean, of course, relative to pro pitchers, these guys are, top of the mountain athletes and all that stuff. But I'm just not a huge fan of the Ginkles and all those other guys that we've seen kind of fall apart. They've been excellent, though. They're going to need innings. Because when you combine the struggle on the road to the third time struggle, that might be the answer there. Dodgers offense only scored 2 runs on 4 hits game one. It was an 8th inning triple by Will Smith. They look listless through the beginning. That was Merrill Kelly, right? That could have spun an absolute gem in their face. Playoff baseball's a weird thing. Bobby Miller on the road. Bobby Miller on the season, at home. He's been split proof, which I didn't realize that's a term that we use in my fantasy analysis. 300 WOBA or better. Lefty, righty, home, and away. Think about that. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Like, well above average. Lefty, righty, home, away. There isn't a split that gets to Miller. 22 games started, 9 quality starts, only 2 money. He has an elite fastball shape, one of the best in the game, like Hunter Green, Jacob deGrom. 99 miles an hour, 11 inches of vertical run, like as flat as she goes, right? We want less vertical. With 8 inches of horizontal run, awesome stuff. Fastball, sinker, curve, slider, change, deep arsenal, max 400 X slug allowed. The curve, the slider, and the change have a 30 whiff rate or better. 2 games started versus Arizona this year. He was at Arizona, went 6, gave up none, struck out 4, walked 4. Then home versus Arizona went 6, gave up 4, walked 2, and struck out 4. So we saw one good start, but not great. We saw one kind of mass start. We got beat up. All I have on the Arizona offense is they went absolutely ham bones. Oh my goodness. Pham, Carroll, Christian Walker, Gabriel Moreno, Alec Thomas. 5 of 9 hitters have a plus 1,000 OPS in the playoffs. Is the day off going to stop it? I don't know what derails these things. I don't pretend. I don't pretend. I do like momentum. I worry about chasing that stuff because it's very subjective. That is why I developed my model that has thousands of hours in its development, back tested for years and thousands, tens of thousands at this point of events. You get into these super duper small samples, and I don't want to say guessing. I just think it should be more about value than anything else. So when you look at the analysis, you got to be thinking right. The early under. Right, the time through the order stuff is strong for Gallen. Jay, bring up the F5 under. Is it 4.5? If it's 4.5, I go under. If not, I don't think I can. There are actually, is it rogue? Are you rogue? I'm not a point bet. I wouldn't call point bet rogue. And Pinnacle also, right? No, that's legit. They're a little juiced up though, right? The Pinnacle is the one we want. Can we bet the Pinnacle line? Again, there are certain books I know. We've kind of made it our habit, Jane. I do appreciate you doing it. No, we're going to go under 4.5, I think. F5 under 4.5. This one, the Miller and Gallen look to get on the first 2 times through the order with Gallen. And I think Bobby Miller stumped on them hoes. We'll see, though. I've been terrible, so feel free to feed me. I feel much stronger about the Wheeler prop. I think that's the one I like the most. Like if I had to take one, I like the Wheeler to get 16 outs. in this one, right, just don't pay. I don't think you want to pay heavy juice. I think that's your best bet. Try and find as many plus EV plays as you can. And again, like Kevin was asking, and the best answer is more betting does not necessarily mean risking more total, right? We want as many bets as possible for as little percentage spent. That's really the key to this thing of ours. Because let's say you bet 2% of your stack, but you only have a single event. Go on a bad run, do some bad caps, whatever, double count some numbers. You lose 5 days in a row. You're down big, depending if you go 2 off the original or 2 is adjusted. Down at least 10%. At least 10%. You don't want to be in that spot after 5 days. It's kind of the point of it. Right? When you build a ticket with 5 plays or 10 plays that represent that 2%, you'll find a lot of times you're playing more around even. And then, like I said, you want the probability to play out because baseball gives you so many opportunities to do just that. So that'll do it. Fastest show on MLB absolutely anywhere with your 2-game Monday recap here. National League Division Series. So just a quick one, Jay. Do a little scanola. I like Philly with them getting run through 5. We also like Zach Wheeler to go over 15.5 outs. We like Arizona and the Dodgers to stay under 4.5 through 5. I think that's pretty good. I think that's where we're at. Feel free to hit me up anytime at John Laghezza on Twitter. Hit up Jaybird at CallTimeNHQ. We really do appreciate you supporting our work at this time of year, right? It's kind of crazy to be doing baseball stuff. There's very little bit of it out there. Hopefully we're, kind of filling that void. The thirst for the game, right, the handicapping, but also hopefully some, I would say powerful analysis, but some unique, stuff, ways to look at it, maybe some numbers that you didn't think of. So from John and Jay, thanks for picking up what we're putting down here at Call to the Pen HQ. Appreciate you much. Really means the world. Rate, review, and subscribe. Stuff just matters more than it should. Don't make a big fat man beg. I guess that'll do it. Enjoy the games. Enjoy your day. When we're done with the book, enjoy that pay. Hit us up anytime. And remember, when you work this hard, it's a lot less like luck, yo. See you tomorrow. Peace.